Welcome back to the channel, everyone. In today's video, you are going to see something absolutely shocking. We are going to look at the giant clothing which the nobility, the nobles, the important people at the time, and the clerics were actually wearing after the giant disappeared, and also the bells and how they were destroyed and the technology which was used to benefit the human being. Now, starting off with the clothing, this is quite crazy. We don't know, of course, why these people were wearing them. Is it because this is the clothing which was left behind by the giants after they all died, or is it because the humans are trying to emulate their ancient gods or their leaders from the past? Now, here we have a number of photos. These are all of people wearing extremely long clothing, as you can see here, and especially here you can see that the part of the arm length here is just ridiculous. This is just too much, isn't it? Would you not agree with me? The sleeve is the most important and concerning problem here. Look at the sleeves of each of these royal clothes. Do you see the same pattern emerging? Yes, especially in this one. I mean, there's many more, but this one is a classic one, which some people who investigate this talk a lot about. Look at this. This one is crazy. You have the sleeve here, you have the full coat. Now this coat, what does it look like? This looks like a jacket. Okay, see, so they basically sewed on the actual sleeve, the current sleeve, but the original sleeve was left there because, of course, they didn't want to destroy it. Okay, so the original sleeve is here. This is the sleeve which they actually did themselves, and it just looks stupid, to be honest. But anyway, they were wearing the jackets of giants. The giant here in question had maybe 4 or 5 meters high. This is a jacket which reaches up to the stomach, just literally just when the feet start. So I'm sorry, when the lower abdomen starts. Okay, because this jacket covers the upper body completely. Okay, this is just shocking. Now we have a different perspective here. The same problem. The sleeves are ridiculously big. Okay, royalty was wearing this, and of course it begs the question, why would they wear such weird random fashion? Doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Again, they're trying to emulate their old leaders. This guy is actually tying them at his back. How retarded is that? That is completely unconventional. It doesn't make any sense. This one example here, look at the sleeves. They actually cut it, because you can see here, you can see it clearly here. They actually made a cut in the sleeve, and then they are wearing other clothing as well. Okay, so they made a cut on this. So sometimes they made a cut, and sometimes they just completely cut it and just connect a different sleeve. Here, the same thing. Okay, this is the original sleeve over here, and this is what he is currently using. This one here is quite obvious. This person did not cut it, and you can see that just this sleeve is just completely nonsensical. It doesn't make any physical sense. Here we have another example. This sleeve. Okay, another one here. And of course, this one here is quite obvious. I mean, look at this. This is just ridiculous. She's actually just wearing it under the sleeves, as you can see here. So there's maybe like a cut made there, so she could actually put her hands out and obviously move naturally. And yeah, this is just shocking, guys. Okay, look at that. Now, this is just proof, of course, that clothing for giants existed, and after the giants died and they got erased, humans used their clothes because they were very rich. They were made with extremely high quality materials, and they were very expensive, and they did not want to destroy them because, of course, the humans' clothing was not as good as this one. Okay, as simple as that, which is just shocking, guys. Now let's look at this one here. This is an example of effectively the technology of the past and the technology today. Do you see the resemblance? Yes, scooters, suits, rockets, scuba diving equipment, as you can see here, masks, helmets, tanks. Everything we see today was actually in different ancient designs, as in either hieroglyphs or in paintings or in walls, okay, in the sculptures 1,000, 2,000 or 3,000 years ago. This was already there. So the reset of the planet, which has happened many times, we see the remains of the ancient world. Why do people not learn this in school? Why this is not taught to people to understand that we are just now the current generation of the world after it was reset? Very simple, because the world would enter in shock and nobody would want to do anything anymore, because everyone would be like, well, what's the point? Because we're gonna get erased anyway very, very soon. So this is why the illusion needs to continue, because otherwise people would not want to do anything else. Now, moving on to the bells. The bells is a very important topic, guys. The bells back in the day, they're saying that during the Second World War, the governments basically melted a lot of the bells to create ammunition and weapons to fight in the Second World War. That is completely false narrative. The reason why they did this, they used that as a pretext to remove the bells, because these bells had a very important frequency which was extremely beneficial for the human body. We know that back in the day, people with actually different leaders of the world, for example in Russia, when a city was actually quite sick, they would actually ring the bells in certain frequencies, and miraculously people in that time actually started feeling better. How they did that? No idea. Of course, because we lost knowledge of the frequency, the sound intensity, how to knock the bell, all that stuff was completely forgotten. But we have the evidence that this is just not normal. This was an operation which was done effectively to erase humanity from a very important natural, I would say, technology, which would actually benefit everyone, because the vibration would actually reach quite high distances in the world, and many people would actually benefit from the intensity and the vibration, because remember, we vibrate continuously. Our body vibrates non-stop, so this is very important. So guys, that's it for today's video. Quite shocking stuff. That's right. Again, hidden knowledge which is not in history books, because this knowledge would completely disrupt the world as we know it, and of course it would raise too many questions against the world government. And this is what the leaders of today do not want you to ask yourself. They just want you to worry about your debt, about your payments, and of course about surviving every single day. As simple as that. Guys, that's it for today's video. As always, I shall see you later in the next one. Bye.